Hello people, today I'm going to be doing a glitter placement on this Harlequin Halloween nail. It's just the one nail. Now I have already gone and put a coat of foil glue on there. I wanted to have a tacky surface for the glitters to stick on. Now I know a lot of people use base coat, and I tried that on the original ones of these that I did, and I was having problems with things moving around. I didn't want to end up curing in between a bunch of times because then I would end up too many layers of coat, base coat on there. So I thought I'd try the foil glue, and I was fairly happy with the way it worked. So I have sped this section up by 4 times. I think all in it took me about 40 minutes to do this whole nail. Just the glitter placement, not finishing it. But I'm going to start with these orange glitters. They are diamond shaped, 3D diamond shaped glitters. They have a side that sticks up like kind of almost like a pyramid, sort of like a shallow pyramid, and then there's a concave side. So I'm going to put these starting with the center line, starting with the point, and then I'm just going to go straight up, putting them end to end till I get to the top. Now the reason you're only seeing this one nail, I'll show you the finished set that this goes with at the end of here, but I had done this particular set. Okay, now I'm going to switch to the black, these black diamond shaped glitters. They're just flat regular glitters. We're going to put those on in a row down the side. Like I started to say, this nail goes to a Halloween set that I did last year when I was just starting to do press-ons, and I did not even have a website yet, so it never got put up anywhere. So there was a couple nails in here that I was unhappy with. Originally I had done the one Harlequin nail like this, and then I did another one, but I did them in diagonal stripes, and partway through that one the stripes kind of got askew and they just didn't look good, so I had scrapped that one. And since I'm going to be putting this up on my website, I wanted to rework a couple of the nails. This nail, the Harlequin one being one of them, I wanted it to match with the other one instead of having 2 different ones. So when I get the black glitters on that side, I'm going to switch it, turn it around, and go down the opposite side. Now I found the foil glue did work pretty good for me at sticking the stuff on, especially these black glitters. Once you got them on there, since they're flat, they were stuck on there. You'll see as I go along, there was a couple times when I had to get them back off. I had to get tweezers out and go with that. The orange ones, however, it was easier to move those around once. I mean, they stuck, but since they're only holding on by like their edges, since the middle is concave, they were easier to get off and move around and things. You see, I had a problem with that one, so I had to pull the tweezers out, get it back up. Now I've got a little tiny bit of base coat on my palette that I'm using just to dab on the end of my picker-upper to pick up some of those glitters. I'm just going to continue on, going down the side over here, back to the orange ones. Now, as you could see on that one that's closest to the pointy end, is hanging over the edge a little bit. You want to just leave it that way for now and don't worry about that yet. As you go along, you're going to come down to the sides and the top edge, and you're going to have some stuff hanging off the end. Just leave it hanging over. Don't do anything with it yet. Sorry for all that noise. My chair is kind of creaky. Kind of like me. Alright, anyway, we're just going to carry on putting these on here. Whoops, I bumped the camera at that point. Now as I'm going along, I'm resting the edge of the nail against my fingers over there so I can have something to press against. Once I get this side done and I switch to the opposite side, I won't be able to do that, and you'll see what happens. You're gonna have hanging off the side parts, and then if you press against them, obviously they're gonna pop off, which I had a couple of them do that. For the most part this time, I was able to keep it mostly in the shot. There's a couple places where it went out a little bit. Sorry for that, but at least I'm getting better. And we're just going to carry on putting these on row by row on it. Once I get this side done, I'll flip it around and go on the other side. I'll just let you carry on and watch this until I see something that needs comment. See, you'll notice now I was starting to have issues with those pressing against my fingers on the other side, and some of them were trying to come off. Plus, the whole nail was deciding it was going to come off the nail stand too at that point. See, there's one on the table that came off. When you get to the very edges, it gets a little tricky because it doesn't have a lot of real estate to grip onto there. Oh, we had an escapee. Had to get him back. That one disappeared. I don't even know where that one went. That one does not want to stay on either. I know a lot of people don't like to do glitter placement because it's very time consuming and pretty fussy. I don't mind the tedious stuff myself. I kind of find it relaxing, unless it's not going well, and then I'm not liking it. Okay. Okay, we get all these on here, and now what I am going to do is I have cut a couple of those orange ones in half lengthwise, and I'm going to put those just on the one side where there was just a sliver of area left. Of course, there was one that didn't want to cooperate. Okay, now that they're all on there, I'm going to get base coat, and I'm going to very gently put a layer of base coat over this whole thing to help hold them in place better than what they are at the moment. I believe one of those little skinny ones is going to pop off here again, and I'm going to have to fix it. Yep, there it is. It did come off. I decided to pop a little bit of base coat along that edge so it would have something to stick onto better. And of course it doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, now we can carry on getting the base coat on there. I'm paying a lot of attention next to the edge, which will help later when I'm at the point of clipping those extra ones off. Okay, now that's been cured. Now I'm going to use builder gel, and I'm going to go over this whole thing again. I'm going to give it a decent coat of the builder gel. Not so much that it's super bulky, but enough that it's going to cover all that really well, so when I file it, I won't have to worry about filing anything off. And I want it to be smooth. I don't want it to have all the little dips in between the orange and the black ones. I want to make sure I get it coated real well along the edges, because after this is cured, I will take the tacky layer off with some alcohol. And then I didn't show it. I don't know why I didn't show that part. I think I didn't hit record. But after this has been cured, the tacky layer has been taken off, I will go along with my nippers and all along the edge, and I will cut off any of those bits that are hanging out past the edge by a lot. You can't always get right up close to the edge, but you can get fairly close. Now I'm going to hold this upside down for a little bit, let that gel settle towards the center of the nail, and then I'm going to cure that for 2 minutes. Okay, now you can see I've trimmed off a lot of the excess around the edges. Now I'm just going to go along and file the rest of anything hanging over the edge off so I can get a smooth edge. Using a 150 grit for this. Okay, once I'm happy with the smoothness of the edges, then I'm going to switch to 100 and 180 grit. I'm going to go back and file over this whole thing with the 180, then I'll switch to the 100 until I get this to be as smooth as I like. Normally, if I'm filing stuff like this, when I have my own nails like that, I usually take some that sticky, flexible tape, medical tape, and put that over my thumb and my index fingernail so I don't file off my own mani. Okay, that's all filed as smooth as I want it to be. Everything's good. And now it's going to be time for top coat. I'm going to give it a nice generous layer of top coat. And I'm going to hold this one upside down for a little bit, briefly. Then I'm going to cure it for 90 seconds. And when it comes out, there it is. And it is part of a set that I'm calling Halloween Medley, and that is the set. And that's all I have for you. See you next time.